I get into this conversation a lot during listing presentations and talking about the difference between maintenance and upgrades. So I wanted to talk to you about that today because I hear it a lot. Well, John, we did this, so that should make our home this much more valuable. Probably the best example that I can use of that is, well, we have a new roof. Yes, beautiful. Makes your house more sellable. Does it make your home $30,000 more valuable than your neighbor down the block that's the exact same size home? No, it doesn't. So let's talk about a few of these things and hopefully it'll give you some clarification about what I'm talking about between the difference of an upgrade and maintenance. But hey, my name is John Bice. I'm with eXp Real Estate here in the Sarasota, Manatee County area. We have been selling real estate in this area, my team, for the past 18 years now. Oof, hard to believe, but yeah, 18 years of real estate, seen a lot of changes, seen a lot of ups and downs and dips and sideways and everything that can happen in the real estate world. So, yeah, but anyway, I want to talk to you about it. I made myself a few notes here. Paint. This is a maintenance thing to me, both on the interior and the exterior, especially the excuse me, the exterior of your home. Sorry, I've been making videos all day and dried out. But yeah, about every 5 to 7 years max on the exterior of your home, you're going to want to put a new paint on the house, especially with homes that have we are concrete block here. The vast majority of homes are concrete block, and if you have stucco on the outside of your house, what happens is we're built on sand, so the concrete slab will begin to settle and move, and that stucco begins to crack slowly. So it's not a big issue, but what you want to have somebody do is putty those in, and then you want to repaint the house if you're at that 5 to 7, 8 year mark on the exterior paint. It scares people to death that don't understand concrete block, stucco on the outside. They're moving from the Northeast and the home inspector finds stucco cracks and they think the whole home is settling and it's going to fall into the earth. So yeah, that's a really good thing to get done beforehand. Interior wise, I'd say probably around the same time frame, 5 to 7 years, somewhere around there, that you want to put a fresh coat of paint on some rooms. If you're in the selling mindset, neutral colors. You don't have to go white, but neutral colors. I come into homes that have very dark walls or very brightly painted walls. And as much as that is cosmetic, buyers have the hardest time looking past that. It's kind of crazy, but it's a coat of paint to go over the top of it, but they are really, really distracted by that. So painting, 5 to 7 year area. Carpet. This is a big thing. Probably on carpet, 6 to 8 years, you're going to want to replace it. Now, that depends on your lifestyle, how many pets you have, all of those things. If you have some high traffic areas where you're walking every single day and there's wear patterns there, again, this is about reselling a home. You're going to want to replace that carpeting. You don't want people coming into your house and seeing this really, really worn out carpet. So yeah, that's something you want to take a look at. If it can be cleaned, I always recommend that. I'm not going to say never, but 99% of the time, I do not see people replacing carpet with carpet anymore, especially here in Florida. They go with the luxury vinyl, the tile, the plank tile flooring, things like that. But I rarely see somebody put new carpet down. So replacing your old carpet with new carpet, it's probably not a good idea because chances are they're going to come in and rip it out anyway. So if you can clean it, get it done. Stanley Steamer, I knew they do a great job on things like that. But replacing it, I don't recommend unless it's completely worn out. Dishwasher. Most people don't think about appliances, but I got 5 to 10 years on a dishwasher, depending on your brand. Obviously, I lean towards LG. I know a lot of my clients have Bosch, so you're probably looking at a 10-year range on a Bosch appliance, maybe LG's, maybe 7, 8 years, somewhere around there. But it's not something that typically a buyer will come in and look at and go, oh my gosh, how old is that dishwasher? Unless it's incredibly old. But yeah, again, that's a maintenance issue. You're upgrading it, but it's maintenance because is it almost at the end of its economic life? Yes. So you want to take a look at that. Hot water heaters, probably 10 to 15 years. I'm going to say 15 is probably an average. Again, that depends on how many people are in the household, how many times that tank is being, emptied and filled and emptied and filled. So that varies. If you got 2 people in a house that aren't using that much water, you can probably get, more than 15 years. I will tell you the house that we purchased that we're in now, the water heater was 19 years old and it lasted us probably another 2 or 3 years before I had to replace it. So that's something you want to take a look at every now and then. Do your maintenance on it. You got to drain the water heater once a year to get all the stuff that settles to the bottom out of there. So that's another one. Garage door openers. Now that's the power for the garage door. Got a home that we're putting on the market tomorrow. They went to open up their garage door yesterday and the spring flew off. So it's probably 20 years old. So yeah, I got on here 10 to 15 years, probably 15 years on a garage door opener. Again, depending on the use, but that's a maintenance issue you want to take a look at. And it's all things that you can make notes of if you're going to sell your house. We replace the dishwasher, we replace the garage door opener, we replace the garage door. It's now an impact garage door, meaning it's hurricane resistant. I hear it hurricane proof a lot. Nothing is hurricane proof, but hurricane resistance because it has the enforcement bars that go across it. So that's another good thing. Ovens, stove ovens, cooktops, probably 12 to 15 years. If you've got something that's 15 years old, chances are it's looking like it needs to be replaced. It's outdated because of all the new appliances that are out there with the new looks to them and everything. So that's another thing that would be an upgrade, but a maintenance type of thing, a stove. Air conditioners, huge. Now, all these things that I'm talking about, appliances, air conditioners, and everything, you're warranting that it works. It works like it's supposed to if you're going to sell your home. But keep in mind on your disclosure that you're filling out about your house, our air conditioner is 15 years old, and people go ding, 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 ding. That means we're going to be replacing that $6,000 air conditioning unit sometime really, really soon. So again, you're just saying during that disclosure process, our air conditioner works fine. Our dishwasher works fine. I see this a lot with elderly clients. They don't get that the dishwasher that they have is 18 years old and really outdated. And they, say, hey, it works fine, washes our dishes for us. But the new buyer is going to come in there and go, oh my gosh, we got to replace this, we got to replace that. And the air conditioner is 15 years old. So, it kind of starts throwing a monkey wrench into people's thoughts about your house. So very important to keep in mind. But air conditioning systems in Florida, I would say 12 to 15 years is probably around the maximum amount of time. And then it's going to start losing efficiency. And again, in selling your home, people are going to start questioning, how much life do we have in that air conditioner? So definitely something you want to talk about. Roofs have become a huge issue in the state of Florida because of the insurance companies putting pressure on people. They want to have it to where you have to replace your roof every 15 years, which is absolutely ridiculous because these roofing companies will come in with these shingles and say it's got a 30-year warranty on it, like we're going to be living in this house 30 years from now. But um, even if it's got a 15 to 20-year warranty on it, why are we replacing our roofs at 15 years if there's absolutely nothing wrong with the roof? I would say tile roofs, you're probably looking at 20 to 25 years. And I see it on both sides. If you have somebody that has either a shingle or a tile roof, they're insured. They've been with their insurer for the last 20 years, and the insurance company is really not paying attention to the age of the roof. They've got a policy, but the buyer of your home won't be able to get a new policy issued because of the age of the roof. Something to really consider there if you're selling, because if it's, let's say, 19 years old, they can't get a new policy. Now, I know somebody will say, oh, yes, they can. Well, yeah, you can get a temporary policy that's very expensive until you purchase the house, and then you go ahead and replace the roof, which is going to cost money. And again, these are all things that buyers are looking at saying, oh my gosh, do I have to put a $25,000 roof on this house after I buy it? So those are things that can be negotiated. Tile roofs, I got a quote on a 2,800 square foot tile roof not too long ago, $68,000 to replace that roof. Now, what you have to, especially if you're not from Florida and you don't know, it's typically not either the shingle or the tile that is bad. It's what's underneath that has worn out. So if you've got a 25-year-old tile roof, the chances are that the protective underliner has worn out. And if that has worn out over time, then what happens? Water starts getting to the plywood that's underneath there. And then you start having leaks into your attic, and it becomes a nightmare. So, yeah, that's what they're trying to avoid, the insurance companies. And hopefully they've stopped all these scams in the state of Florida where these, bogus roofers are going around saying, oh, let me do a free inspection for you, and let me handle it. I'll get you a brand new roof. I know people have done that. I know I've got friends got brand new roofs. I paid $23,000 for a roof. I got friends that got a brand new roof by going through that. So take it for what you will. Plumbing and electrical. Oh, yeah, something you really got to watch out for. Now, electrical boxes are a huge thing. I know they went through a period of time where they were using electrical boxes that if the home inspector comes through now, that would be like, those were recalled. You got to replace it. Now, replacing the electrical box is one thing, but if the wiring for your house needs to be replaced, you're talking $15,000. I had one house in the last 15 years that had to have that done. They had the recalled electrical box, and the wiring for the whole entire house had to be redone. It was 15, I believe. So definitely something you want to keep an eye on before you buy your house. I always suggest that they have a camera run down through the sewer lines to examine those. Is it an older home with cast iron pipes? But yeah, have those, like the drain system where your where your water drains out. Have that scoped and looked at to see what condition the pipes are in. Make sure they're good. So, and you can do that as a homeowner too. Sellers, if you've been in a home 12 to 15 years and you're getting ready to put your home on the market, it's a very good idea and well worth the money to have a home inspector come through, take a look at the house and look at all of these things to make sure they're up in the attic, They're testing all your electrical outlets, your windows, your doors, making sure everything is working right. So it's an excellent, and it's an excellent spend. It's probably, depending on the size of your house, $400 to $500. But if you can eliminate a lot of these things that the buyer's home inspector will find eventually, and it doesn't put doubt in their mind, it's well worth the money. Windows and doors, another thing. I can tell you the windows in this house, my house was built in 1983. It was the original crank open windows, like ridiculous. The guys who came to replace the windows, they were laughing because the screws back then were, I think, 3 inches long. And they're like, we can't even believe these windows are still staining here. So, yeah, it's like 6-inch long screws now, and they're, a lot more of them that hold the windows in. But that is huge for people. And I can tell you, it's one of the best investments we've ever made. It brought our energy cost down. The sound outside, nothing. You can't hear a thing unless it's something, like a loud motorcycle going by or something like that, but it definitely muffles that. And then the sliders were amazing as well, because the sliders on our house back in 83, the track for the sliders was actually on the outside of the home. So now the code is they move the frame inside the house, and you lose a little bit of slider, but much safer. And I can tell you, in the last 5 years, a couple of the storms that have gone by, it was well worth it. Yeah, definitely well worth it to have that security of those doors there. It was, something that I'm definitely glad we invested in. So I hope that answers some questions for you about maintenance of your home and upgrades of your home. Really didn't talk about upgrades. That's another video, but these are maintenance things that you want to do on a rotating level. Make yourself a notebook and write down all these things, because it'll be excellent to be able to present that to sellers. Hey, we replaced the windows 2 years ago, the air conditioner last year, the roof was replaced. We did this, all these things. And it's a huge list that will make you a lot of money in the long run. If you like videos like this, real estate information, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. I try to put out something almost every day of the week about real estate here on the sun coast of Florida. Some people call it the Gulf Coast. But if you've got questions, give me a call. My cell phone number is 941-962-7443. John Bice, eXp Real Estate. I'd love to talk to you. Love to help you find a home here or sell a home in this area. Thanks so much, and I'll see you on the next video.